Welcome to the Media Bubble Podcast. With me, Karol, as your host, and with Fredrik as your co-host.
Yeah, I guess so. It's funny, we have done so many episodes and we still are not 100% sure about our intro.
Yeah, it's like God's a little gift. You never know what intro you're gonna get.
No, I guess not. But you know what episode we are going to get. We have done this kind of thing. This is our fourth year. We have... Man, this channel is getting old.
Yeah, we're going strong. Fourth year this year.
Yeah,
covering video games.
Yeah, the summer of games, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. There's a bunch of video game conference around the same time.
Summer of games, as you said. Summer Game Fest.
Xbox, PlayStation, State of Play.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Wholesome Direct. There's also another one on Steam, which I forgot the name of.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's summer, it's hot, it's fun, and fun to be had with the new games that are being announced left and right.
Yeah, I guess so. We are going to do what we did last year. We're going to pick 5 games each and talk about them.
Yeah.
I actually broke the rule. I picked 6 this time.
How dare you?
I'm sorry. I just couldn't... I had such a hard time choosing in the end.
And as always, our reason for this is we tried once covering every single game. It got stale really fast. So instead, we asked you, there are better places for the coverage of all the announcements that's been made, but we wanted to highlight some games that we personally are hyped about.
Yeah, well, that we felt was interesting.
So without further ado, let's dive into the games.
The first one I'm going to talk about was actually in Nintendo Indie Direct for like 1 month ago or something like that. But this game actually caught my interest because I saw this last year in one of the conference. But I didn't pick that as one of my choices then. But
I remember the name. It was announced.
I have now. This is called Europe, and what this kind of feels like is just kind of a free-spirited game in some way. You're exploring a world with some kind of fly-based movement. It looks a little bit like a Ghibli world, I feel like sometimes. But I just find it quite relaxing and so it looked fun. It just looked like a relaxing, explore this world type of game.
Yeah. I think it's a good pick. I was intrigued in this game the last time it was announced, but I totally forgot it was coming out. But it looks, as you said, it looks casual. It looks like you'll be exploring Europa, which is one of the moons of Saturn, I think.
Yeah, I guess so.
And it looks suspiciously green and alive, which is not the case at the moment.
It's coming to Steam and Switch, and I feel like this game could be... Like, this game feels perfect for Switch, I feel like.
Yeah.
So...
when do we have a date? Do we have a day for when this game is out?
No, not yet. We just have 2024. We don't have an exact date on this one yet, but or at least I think so. I have just written 2024 in any case.
Yeah. Will you be picking this up if it releases?
I actually think I will. The games that I actually have picked this time, I feel like there's a very strong chance of me picking them up, which was a little bit hard last year because I had a lot of PS5 games that time.
But actually, I did pick up some of the games from last year. I have them installed. I have yet to play them. I have started some. I'm having fun. So this. Yeah.
In my 5 picks last year, I picked up the 2 that I had consoles for, which was Lies of P and Sonic Generations. No, not Generations. A Sonic game.
Do you mean Frontiers?
No, not that. That was the year before. This was kind of a...
Colors.
It was kind of a 2D Sonic game, but with modern graphics.
I know which one you mean, but I do not remember the name.
And yeah, this just felt like a relaxing time, and then yeah, I'm interested. I think I will pick this up. I also have heard some people that have tried demo, and they said that they liked what was there. So
Oh, there is a demo.
yeah, there's a demo. I actually thought that I would play it before we recorded this, but sometimes you don't have the time that you think.
Yeah. I might give it a go as well. But let me tell you about the game I chose.
Yeah, this one was actually on.
Both of our picks. You didn't choose it, but you had it in.
I had it in honorable mentions.
Which we will mention at the end.
Have you switched the? This
Yes.
was something different before.
Yes. So with one, first of all, the picture, since this game was only announced, it was kind of hard to find images for it. There's basically the trailer. Their Twitter has, I think it's the only place that has a high resolution picture of their logo. I don't remember. Did they have a press kit?
Well, maybe we should say what the name is when
Yes.
we think about it.
I'm getting ahead of myself. So, Wonderstop. It's a game that's coming out sometime 2024 this year. It's coming into PlayStation and Steam. And this is a kind of cozy farming simulator, which is not usually the games I go for. The reason why I picked this is because it has a cool aesthetic. I love making tea in real life and in video games. And it's also written by the same creator as Stanley Parable.
Yeah, I also like the visuals of this one. I feel like the art direction really suits it.
Yeah, it's cozy and it's whimsical. And I also want to sell this game for our listeners, since yes, it's been written by the Stanley Parable crew and also a lot of talented talents. The creator went on Twitter to describe how he had difficulties writing for, because the story of this game will be a little bit more darker and depressing.
Yeah, you kind of got that vibe when you saw the trailer.
Yeah, the trailer describes our main character, whose name I don't remember. She is a retired fighter who ended up in this tea shop as a employee, but she is struggling adapting to the situation. She's struggling to letting go from the fight excitement, setting down. And there seems to be a little bit like something darker stirring.
Yeah.
And yeah, the writer had went on Twitter and described how it was a little bit tough to mix this cozy gameplay with like depression or like dark thoughts. So I'm interested of where this will be going.
The thing is, I also feel like there's a lot of farming games that are coming out now, and to stand out as kind of like
you have to remix it.
Yeah. This one found a way to stand out in a genre that I feel is becoming really crowded.
It is. I mean, not to say Stardew Valley, which let's be real.
That is probably the most popular one.
It's the progenitor of this farming craze. It's still getting updates.
Yeah.
To this day. And there's Haunted Chocolatier coming out from the same creator. And even in this direct, we had Grape Seasons by Blumhouse Games.
Yeah.
But that was my Wonderstop.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
I found this one interesting too. As I said, one of my honorable mentions. Now, I'm going to talk about something called UFO 50, which I found really interesting. I found this almost more interesting as the concept when they explained it, because in one of the conference they explained what the kind of idea was for this one, and it's like they have created their own gaming company that was running in the 80s.
Yeah.
And through like 82 to like 90, they made games. They made 50 individual games for this game console that they called UFO or something.
50, yeah.
So they have created 50 unique kind of NES types game for this one game. So the concept to me is really interesting, and they have made 50 different types of games. Some varies in length and a lot of different styles of games too.
I see on the screenshots you have like a dungeon crawler and a dodgeball minigame.
Yeah, they have a lot of different genres too, and I guess it's as they explained, they also had a set colors system, and in some games the graphics are better than the other ones, and that depends on which fictional year that game came out.
So, if I'm getting this correctly, you follow the story of the gaming company as they release games.
Yeah, kind of. You can start whatever game you want, from what I could understand, but but it's kind of like it's some year, if one game maybe has better graphic because it was released near the end of the life of that fictional console. I just found this like an interesting idea, because when you're kind of making this type of concept, you're designing 50 different games for your own fictional console.
Yeah, but it's cool. You're like creating a history of the system.
Yeah.
It's quite cool.
I just found the concept really interesting.
So when does this come out?
18 September 2024. It's supposed to come out
this year.
And in Steam. Like, from what I understand, this has also been in production for quite a long time.
Oh.
Like, I could see videos from like 4 years ago or something where this was talked about.
Okay, then that gives me hope, because I was worried that it was just announced. I know video games take a lot of time to produce, but if there was already buzz about this game before, I'm just worrying about 50 games. Will they be able to match the quality for all of them? Yeah,
that's kind of what they said, that they are, for at least what they have said is that they are like full games.
Yeah.
Full individual games.
That's great, and it sounds interesting. I might keep an eye out on this.
I just found the idea very interesting, at least.
Okay, so for my next pick, I chose Metaphor ReFantasio.
Yeah, we talked about this one a little bit last year.
Yeah, but we have received more information. We have received finally when the game will be released.
Yeah, we got like a whole press conference on this game.
But that's the game conference that actually got me excited about this game. So basically, Metaphor, it's the same team behind SMT titles and Persona, for people who don't know. The game will be about a road trip of sorts.
Hooray.
You and your team will be equipped with archetypes, which is this game's version of demons and personas.
Yeah.
These archetypes will be you'll be able to switch them freely between team members, and there are different classes which evolve later on in the game.
Yeah.
You'll be exploring the world, which is a concept I think they had it for Persona 5, which was or at least Strikers that they wanted to dig in. So you'll be traveling between different cities, and you will never be staying in one place for too long. And it's just so cool. The archetypes, like warriors, tricksters, they evolve. There will be level ups, more fantastic menus. The places seem fine.
Yeah, I've never seen a menu that is so creative as with these kind of games.
Yeah, it really shows what can you do with experienced team that you didn't fire from the year before.
Yeah, and a unique art style, I guess.
Yeah.
Like one problem I actually have heard people complain about when it comes to these kind of video game conferences is that a lot of games with the realistic kind of graphics starts to blend in your kind of head, because there are so many. So when you have something with kind of a unique art style, it really helps.
Yeah. Yeah, I can totally see it. Like during this conference, we already had announced like how many shooters. I know Black Ops been announced, and like another shooter game, but I don't remember.
I have no idea. There were so many games being announced in this press conference.
But one last thing. As I said, we got an announced date. This was teased last year, But
Yeah,
now we know.
talked about it last year.
Yes, but now we know that the game will be coming out on October 11th, 2024, this year.
Oh, for
And it'll be all consoles without Switch. So PS, PlayStation, Xbox, and Windows. Or Steam.
PS5 and PS4, or just PS5?
Oh, I haven't checked. I mean, PS5 definitely, Xbox One definitely, maybe PS4.
Well, I feel like this one looks really interesting. I was kind of thinking about talking about this one myself a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we share interests.
I don't know. It looked really interesting. I feel like.
Yeah, if you want more information, check out the press conference. It shows a lot of gameplay.
Okay, next I have Shim.
Oh, this was also teased last year.
Yeah, this was teased last year and maybe 2 years ago. The weird thing is that I actually looked back on when I was searching for this game, and I realized that this has been shown before. I couldn't remember it. Do you want to know how I remember this game? Is that when I was a couple of months ago on Instagram,
yeah,
I just sometime this game just popped out, and I thought that it looked really interesting as a concept, where it's kind of you're kind of a frog and you're jumping through different shadows and how different shadows moves, and yeah, it's a shadow jumping game, I guess you can call it.
But I think it looks a little bit different too. I don't remember the red outlines at least.
Yeah, and I don't know. This is quite a simple game. I feel like, and sometimes I kind of just want a simple game, and this is a game where you're kind of a frog. You're jumping through the different shadows, and sometimes the different shadows moves. Like if a human is running, you can jump into that shadow and you can move with that human. I don't know. It's a bit. It looks a little bit simple, but maybe it's more complex the more you go. I don't know.
I think
I just found it to look fun.
I mean, it does. It sounds like a game you play on an afternoon. Maybe if you didn't want to dive into like Fantasio.
Sometimes I also just search for simple games, because sometimes some games are complex with its controls and things like that.
So when is it coming out and what platforms?
18th July 2024. It's coming out for the major consoles: PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and Steam.
Cool. I think this game will benefit on the Switch.
Yeah, I'm feeling 90% sure that I will get this one. Let's see. Then we have the next one for you.
Yes. So actually I have some notes for this one.
South of Midnight. This was also shown last year, I remember.
Yes. So we've been teased. We've seen Two-Faced Jack. But basically, South of Midnight, for those who are not in the know, is a folklore, mystical, like action adventure, third person, through the folklore swamps of American South.
Yeah.
In this trailer, we follow our heroine, Hazel. So Hazel is looking for her mother, and she is a weaver. Basically, she is caught up in this like realistic but mystical world, and in the trailer we've seen she's following a catfish called Catfish, who talks, going through the Louisiana swamp, as they meet a massive gator. As I said, this is a third-person action adventure.
Yeah.
And Hazel's powers, she's a weaver, so she's not as much destroying or defeating enemies. She's like fixing the world.
Oh, okay.
So it's not as much like killing, but she's like trying to like help these creatures, these people. She's like untangling negative emotions from them.
Yeah.
Which we see in the trailer. She fights one of the enemies. I think he's like anger themed. She can whip around during the map. The animation, it's like kind of Spider-Verse-y, where she clips.
animated by twos or?
Yes, and it
Yeah.
looks great. I like the banter.
It sometimes it looks like you're playing an animated film.
Yes, and that's what's so great. Like honestly, I watched this trailer and I said like, this is cool. Like every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Or like every other scene. This is so cool.
Yeah, this is really interesting, at least in an artful perspective. This looks really unique.
Yes, and it's like in the south, and it's
Yeah.
like gators and swamps. You don't see games often in that setting.
Oh no, that also makes it kind of unique.
So, South of Midnight, they're created by the. It's made by the only gripe I have with this is that it's made by Compulsion Games. It's a collaboration with Xbox Game Studios. So it's Compulsion Games made We Happy Few, along some other games. They're known for great stories, but We Happy Few kind of suffered from the gameplay loop. So I am optimistic, but I don't want to bum myself out.
Okay.
I'll probably pick this up.
Yeah, I feel like this looks also interesting to me. Like it has a very unique style to it.
Yes. So, South of Midnight, coming sometime in next year, 2025.
Yeah.
And it's available for Xbox and Steam. No PS4.
Oh, if we're talking about the games you can be worried about, we have Star Wars Outlaws. And the major thing with why people might be worried about this one is solely actually Ubisoft. This is made by Ubisoft.
I mean, it's Star Wars, so like...
And one thing that I found funny is that I have seen people that have played this. I have seen comments that have commented on this, and everyone is like, this looks good, but Ubisoft.
The thing is, Ubisoft has a reputation for screwing things up. We had the Star Wars Battlefront with its egregious monetization. We had it was awful working environment for the devs.
Yeah, Ubisoft is not very popular company at the moment.
Yeah, but I mean, the game isn't out yet.
Just from what I saw, it was kind of funny also when I looked at some of the names that came up on the creators of this game, and I kind of realized, oh, is this made by a Swedish team? Because a lot of these names sounds very Swedish to me.
If it's made in Sweden, they will have unions.
Well,
but for our listeners who are new to video games, which on this episode, if you're here, then you're a trooper. A stormtrooper.
Oh.
What is the premise?
Well, it's an open world Star Wars game. That is kind of the premise, and you're kind of like playing this girl that is kind of like a bounty hunter of some kind, I think.
Yeah.
What looked interesting to me was that the open world kind of in this in Star Wars, and I actually saw the character go around, and it actually feels really like an open world Star Wars game. And I think this is kind of the first of its kind.
Didn't we have what's his face? There were 2 games before.
Yeah, but that's what they were more Metroidvania types of games, if I remember correctly. They weren't
open world.
True open world.
I guess.
Which this is kind of what this looks like. There was one place where she was walking, and it was full of different people and aliens and things like that.
But you see, here's the gripe, because I said there's chance, but this is Ubisoft, and they have made a trend of there being just a lot of things to find, and Assassin's Creed, for example, with a lot of points of interest, but in reality, it doesn't really. It's just busy work.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that this game. I'm not fully sure how this game 2 will come out, because at the same time the company is showing you maybe just the parts of the game that are looking like this. We are going to get to see you on 30th of August 2024 when this game comes out. how the reviews of it will turn out. But from just what I could see, it looks really interesting. From what I can understand, there's also some puzzle elements. One thing that I'm not super into is that her main kind of weapon is like
A laser pistol.
No, yeah, a laser pistol. And to me, whenever I saw her using that laser pistol, it didn't look that interesting to me. But yeah,
I think maybe it's from. I mean, she surely will have other guns.
yeah,
It's just her like iconic weapon.
yeah. It also reminded me a little bit of the Assassin's Creed game where she's sneaking around in different places and things like that.
It's Ubisoft, so we'll see.
So
cautious optimism.
So I can say this. Well, from what I have seen, it looks good, but as we have previously said, but Ubisoft.
So Star Wars Outlaws, when it will be coming out on what platforms?
On 30th of August 2024 for PlayStation 5, Xbox, and Windows.
All right.
And now to your next game, which is...
Yes, so I wanted to talk about Battlesuit Aces, and it's a weird one, but I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's made by Tricked Studios, the guys who made Battle Chef Brigade.
Okay.
I played Battle Chef Brigade, and it's like a weird mix-up of a platformer fighter and cooking game.
Yeah. This is kind of a card-based game.
Yes, this is a card-based exploration. It's a card-based exploration mecha game. And let me see my notes. Yeah. As I said, honestly, if not for the devs, I wouldn't look at it. Chef Brigade, awesome. And it also has cool art style. Very anime inspired. I don't think they made a second game since Battle Chef Brigade. So
When did Battle Chef come out?
2018?
Okay.
Somewhere along these lines. And there's also, as you can see in one of the slides, there might be like a hangout systems with the pilots. There's a lot of customizability for the carts. I think you can pair up like pilots with vehicles. The vehicles evolve during some prerequisites. I don't know. The animation look nice. The music, the places also look intriguing. The main character is hot. So I think I'm gonna play this.
Yeah.
Battlesuit Aces, coming out, we don't know yet, but on Steam. And maybe Nintendo Switch. I know Brigade came out on Switch.
Okay. Well, let's see. This was also one of the... This hasn't been shown before anywhere.
No, it hasn't. It's not even on the website right now, which is, please devs, put it on the website so I can rip the images.
Okay. Fun for you. I can't really... I am not... If I'm just speaking for myself, I'm not really that interested in card-based games, but if you like it, then...
I'm not either.
Okay.
As I said, if not for Battle Chef Brigade, I wouldn't give this a go.
Okay.
But it looks interesting, cool story, art. I'm willing to put my faith into this team.
Okay. To next game, I guess. We have Nico de Rico, The Magical World. And if I'm being honest, there was no game that sold me as fast as this one, because this one feels like a game that really speaks interest to me. It's a platform game with that kind of turns back this kind of mascot, kind of main character. It looks a lot like
Crash.
Yeah, Crash Bandicoot, which, as I said, speaks very much to me. There was no game that probably sold me as fast as this, and I'm almost 100% sure that when this comes out, I will get this, because I don't know. As I said,
where did you find this? What showcase was this from?
I can't remember. There were so many different showcases, but I don't know. It had a fun trailer with some, I guess, fun music, and I don't know. As I said, this is a platform game. It looks very much like the Crash 4, and it has that kind of mascot kind of main character, and
Yeah, you're in a jungle. You have a furry main character
and fun colors and unique kind of cartoony characters when they speak in cutscenes. Yeah, this game just interests me. It's kind of just that type of game that I'm really into.
Yeah,
Platformers.
it's interesting. So, for me, I don't know. I know that I enjoy these type of games, but maybe I would have to learn more about it. Honestly, I have not seen this game before, so maybe I don't know. It looks from the looks of it, there is co-op.
Yeah, I don't. I'm feeling. I don't think that this is the first time this game is shown anywhere. I don't think that this has been shown anywhere else. But as I said, this is kind of just the type of games that I'm interested in, and this is apparently coming 2024 to like all the major things: PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, and the Switch.
It's good to know it's coming so fast. Maybe we'll get the chance to play it.
Yeah, wonder how long the game is.
I mean, Crash 3 is quite short, but Crash 4 is very long.
Crash 4 is incredibly long if you compare it to any other Crash game.
Okay, so for my last choice that I really wanted to talk about, it's a last minute switch from another game.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about Hyper Light Breaker. And this is by the same team that made Hyper Light Drifter. So this is a team of experience. This is like an indie studio. Let me just check my notes. It's developed by Heart Machine, and it's an open world exploration action game in 3D.
Yeah.
It's fully co-op, up to 3 players, and it just looks cool. It reminds me kind of like from one of the screenshots, the enemy kind of looks like something from Nier Automata.
Yeah.
The combat with guns reminds me of Bloodborne. It's an open world with friends. And you don't need to, and if you want to, I don't think it's connected to their previous title that much. So I'm willing to give this a go. Like, I can imagine playing this with friends.
Yeah. I don't remember seeing this game. What do you remember which conference this was from?
Let me see. Oh, I can't tell. Future of Play.
Okay. No, I don't remember this game.
Yeah. Or is it Future of Play?
But is it a hack and slash or?
It's kind of a hack and slash with guns, open world. As I said, I'm just repeating myself. But as I said, 3 players. You can enjoy the world whichever way you want.
Yeah.
I think the key art is for the characters. So Hyper Light Breaker is coming to early access this summer 2014, and it's on Steam. And I don't know, maybe we could try it together.
Yeah, maybe.
Not a force, just a suggestion.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, let's see.
And this is your last choice.
Yeah, this is my last choice. And we talked a little bit about hyper-realistic graphics. We haven't really picked any games that have hyper-realistic graphics, but for my last choice, this one looks so, I guess, interesting enough for me to talk about it. We have Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
Yes, so what is this game about?
I'm not fully sure yet. This is the first time I have seen it, and it has some interesting stuff. Like the visuals of it is really interesting, because they kind of take this world and
it's like broken.
Yeah. The main characters have something to do with like painting, if I could understand it correctly.
So I actually have a little bit more info. So basically, this is a story about a team, the Expedition 33. Each year, there's a painter, and each year she paints a different number on her canvas.
Yeah.
And if it's like 33, 44, 35, if it paints 35, everyone who is 35 years old vanishes. They turn into leaves. They just disappear. Everybody remembers, but they just are gone. And every year, the number is ticking down. So every year, people die more and more. This expedition, 33, they are to travel, find the paintress, and kill her. So that she doesn't take anyone, so that she can't paint another number.
Oh, and this is also one thing that is interesting is that this looks like kind of a classic RPG. Like it had some other kind of elements of combat in it, I felt, but it was like an traditional RPG. You have party members, and
Yeah.
if you watch the kind of just style of the world, it's like this hyper realistic graphics, but it's like
Stylized.
like you're in a painting, you can say, like.
Yeah, yeah. I think this is maybe why this stood out so much from other because the art style, like the graphics, are realistic, as you said, and we didn't pick any other realistic games. But this also has, like, there is like an art direction. This isn't just the real world. This is like broken, shattered rocks flying about, mysterious like bits in the sky, flowers. I think on the website they described like they were taking inspiration from like French architecture.
Yeah, you could understand that.
It's supposed to take inspo from France. I noted in my notes.
So I don't know a lot about it. I think this is the first time also it had a trailer, but yeah, it looked really unique and interesting.
Yeah,
it's coming 2025.
No date yet.
No date yet. Maybe later. Who knows? It's apparently coming for the PS5 and the Xbox and the Steam.
Yeah. It's funny that the last game is kind of like we talked about it together.
Yeah. Yeah, we both have interest in this. I feel like. Are all the games we talked about, are all of them coming to Steam?
Seems like it. I don't think we had a single game that didn't include PC. But I think that's fair. Like that's the like platform most people are comfortable with.
Yeah.
But should we go quickly through our maybe like just name drop some games we thought about talking?
Yeah, I guess we have some kind of honorable mentions. In my honorable mention, I have also South of Midnight and Wonderstop, which are two games you talked
that I
about.
took up, yeah.
So we have kind of already talked about them, and then just some other things that I found interesting. Did you see anything about Screenbound?
I maybe kind of did, yeah.
It was a very unique kind of type of game. I'm not sure about how fun it is, but the kind of premise was that you were holding a Game Boy which was showing a 2D playing field, while in the background you had a 3D field, and both these views kind of were how you walked.
Okay.
Yeah.
So interesting mechanics.
Yeah. And then we have On Your Tail, kind of like a vacation game from what I could understand. Kind of if you want a relaxing game, I guess. Dungeons of Hinterberg. Kind of a unique 3D platform hack and slash, I guess, kind of type of game. Ballad of Anteria kind of reminded me a little bit of 33. It kind of also was an hyper-realistic game, but with kind of these crazy light visuals.
Astrobot, I know, I've heard, like, I've seen a lot of people discussing skins, and that they enjoyed the previous game.
Yeah, Parcel Corps, kind of a look like the fun bicycle game where you're delivering, I guess,
parcels.
Yeah, kind of you're kind of a delivery boy, and you're traveling with your bike in a kind of cartoony art style and world.
Yeah, I see Wonderstop, my pick, and I also see Wu Chang Fallen Feathers.
Yeah, kind of a. No, I'm not 100% sure about that one, but I found the trailer at least a bit interesting.
For my honorable mentions, just to go quickly, I don't have as many actually. I have 4. So for me, I other than talk about these games because there are a few reasons. So, All Systems Must Dance. It's a kind of like there's so little information about this, but it looks fun. Basically, it's a robot revolution, and you need to dance to make the bots see that you're not just a number, and that's how you do the revolution.
Yeah.
Expedition 33, we talked about it. I kind of sneak peeked though that you wanted to pick it up, so I didn't go much into it. Dragon Age Veilguard. I played the second one like at least 2 times through.
Yeah. I thought that one was going to be one of your picks.
The problem is I haven't played. I tried Inquisition. I didn't. I dropped it for some reason, and it made like seeing the trailer. It made me want to like replay the old games and maybe get it caught up. But I can't say like I can't give good critique on this. Why it's cool. I just see a lot of thirsty art online about the 2 new boys.
Yeah.
You can romance and Varric, and Neva, which is by Devolver. It's the same guys who made Gris, and the music just got to me. It's like a side-scrolling platformer about a woman and her dog in a decaying world.
Okay.
I think that should be the wrap-up for Summer Games 2024. Is there anything else you would like to add?
How did you feel about the press conference as a whole? Or the kind of whole events?
I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot of conferences. It's a lot of hours. I checked the announcements the days after. I didn't look at them. It's too much time.
Yeah. That's kind of what I feel about these is that there are way too many conferences. There are way too long, and there are way too many games. And why I'm kind of mentioning this is because sometimes I feel like you're getting lost in this conference because sometimes I feel like, oh, that's a game that looked a little bit interesting. You have forgotten it in 5 minutes.
It's true, but it's
there's so many games that are coming out from these.
Exactly. It's like throwing so many stuff at you, just like see what sticks, because I think there's something called like the appreciation fatigue. Like you just get. I mean, you can be sitting comfortably in a chair and look at all these games, but after a while, you just like you look at so much. It's information overload.
Yeah, so I'm kind of feeling like there is a bit of a problem in how many games you are shown, but I guess I'm not exactly sure what the answer for this is either.
I don't think I was about to just say like more conferences but shorter, but then you're just stretching them out even longer.
Because one thing that you can appreciate about the indie games conference is that these people have taken a lot of time to develop their own kind of unique idea, and so sometimes I want those to maybe have a bit more spotlight individual, but at the same time, how would you do that? Because at the same time, this is the time that people will be watching.
Yeah, like, and there's only and we're going back. People only have so much attention. Like, I can't find a solution. I'm sorry. Like, I want to say how to improve this, but I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
That's the reason I'm sticking to reading the lists afterwards.
Yeah, it's kind of just a lot.
But yeah,
I guess something that I also kind of might as well mention while we're on it. I put this slide up for maybe some seconds, and these are just a bunch of games that we have either talked about in the past or games that wasn't in any conference but I'm still looking forward to. So these are some games that in interest. But anyway, I guess we can end this now.
I think so too. And unlike our press conferences, let's not keep it too long. Would you do the honors?
As always, thank you all for listening, and we hope you enjoyed this as much as we have. Don't forget to follow, subscribe or follow us on social like Twitter, YouTube or Tumblr. And also big thanks to Jahzzar for our intro and outro comedy. See you again in the next episode and have a wonderful day.
A wonderful day and summer games too.
Hooray.
Hooray.